Welcome to the Focus Garage. Today we're going to work on a Focus RS. Backwards. But anyway, we're going to work on it. We're going to put some springs. I think we're putting Swift. Right?
Yeah, Swift Spec R.
We're going to put Swift Spec Rs on it, and we're going to show you guys how to do it. It's pretty straightforward. It's not that hard. There are a couple of special tools I would say you would need, but I'll show you guys what they are, and then you can find that anywhere you want. So let's get going. So first, what we're gonna do is we're gonna get access to the 3 bolts on the top. Chris over here is working on it. You gotta remove these torque bits. I think they're 30. 30. Yeah, 30. Yeah. And then you have these plastic clips that you just wiggle it out, and then this separates from the bottom tray, and then you can just remove it. And then you can one thing you could do is you could like pry it off and then have some room for you to get to the 3 bolts, or you can make it so much easier for yourself and remove the wiper blades as well. And make sure when you're removing them you mark them where they are at, so you do not mess around with the calibration, because calibrating them is kind of a pain in the butt and you don't want to do that. So he's working on it, and then I'll show you guys what's the next step. After you deal with the top part, we're going to start loosening up some lug nuts, and then we're going to start lifting the car up. We want to loosen it up because we're going to lift all 4 corners to make life easier for us. And I'll show you guys how you can get to the bolts without removing the wiper blade. And so this is your first one right here, and this is your second one, and then the third one is down there. So you can kind of lift this up. You know, be gentle about it. It flexes, but you don't want to push so much force to it to do it. So this will save you a couple of steps, and also save you a headache of recalibrating your wipers if you mess it up. So yeah, let's go to the next step. So the next thing we did was we lifted the car, removed the wheels, and make sure you have 4 jack stands in the back and supporting with a jack just in case we have another jack stand right there. And make sure you have your beer handy right next to you when you need to refill, you know. So what we're gonna do in the front is we're going to remove the top 3 bolts slightly. We're not going to remove it all the way out because we're going to need it, but we're going to break them loose. Maybe like they're going to be hanging with their last 2-3 threads to help us remove the shock from its location, which is here. There's a bolt here. You're going to remove that to open that knuckle up, and you might have to use a couple of techniques to get it out. I'll show you guys what they are, but I definitely suggest doing what you think is the best. Both way of doing it is going to slightly damage your knuckle, but it's not going to destroy it. People have been doing it so this way, and everybody's fine. I just want to give you guys a warning. The next thing we're going to do before removing the shock from its location is removing this tie rod, not the tie rod, but sway bar link. So you need a pass-through socket set with the Allen wrench to remove this. That's a special tool. That's one of the special tools. I don't think you need anything else, but another one would be the spring compressor. That's another special tool. So 2 special tools you need. So you're gonna remove this, remove that, and then loosen up the up there, and then you can just remove this shock from its location. So guys, we'll get going, and I will show you guys what you need to do. The one in the back. It's so much easier, the one in the back. All you need to do is loosen up, remove, it doesn't want to. Can you see it better? There you go. There's a bolt there. You're gonna remove that to get this let the spring out, and then you just when you get the spring out, put the new spring in there, and then you just gotta lift this up to line that bolt out. That's all you need to do in the back, and you'll be ready to go. So we're gonna get back to working, and I'll show you guys what those two options that you have to remove those knuckles.
Alright, so this is the clip that is holding the cable that attaches to the strut. It holds this cable together. This is the passenger side clip. So on the passenger side, this is actually clipped onto a bracket, and it's facing this direction on the passenger side, and you just lift this little tab here, and this pops right off the bracket. And then what you can do is kind of turn it around with the cable still inside of it. And these two tabs, take a flathead screwdriver, and you want to press this up on both, and then, you know, kind of find a way to wiggle it loose as you're pressing up. Try to get one side and then get the other. This is the driver's side. It's actually a different tab. So I kind of mangled this getting it out, but it's mounted. It's mounted down. Where did this mount at?
On the
oh, it's mounted back here actually. See that silver piece? It's mounted there, and it's got a little Christmas tree type tab. So I just kind of pried it, and you know, whatever. It'll go back in. It'll be fine. If not, I'll zip tie the cable. But once you get this loose and pull the cable out with it, these tabs are slightly different. You just want to come at it from this side, and this whole piece here, you want to lift it up so it gets over these tabs. Then it's exposed, and
nope.
Where's the where did it go?
Oh,
I just wanted to show how it attached.
right there.
Oh, so this guy, there is a little tab you'll see right there. This piece, just put a flathead under it, and it raises over that, and you can pop it right out. It's pretty easy.
So that would be the last thing you would do to remove the shock from the car. So the two things that I was talking about is putting a metal piece in the back and then reverse threading it. That's a lot of people do, and it just like loosen it up, and then loosens the knuckle up, and then the knuckle drops down. You might have to push some force into it to get it out. Another thing would be beating it with a hammer. So it's up to you. A lot of people use this, and it's successful. You just want to be easy on it. You don't want to be forcing it. If you feel like it's forcing, just stop and see what's happening to get it. See if you misthread or anything like that. So you don't want to mess that up, because you would have to replace this knuckle. And yeah, you want to remove this and that, and you're good. That's all you need to do to remove it. So we're gonna start on replacing the spring on it. So after removing the old springs using a spring compressor and pass-through socket, we fish the cable back up here, and then tighten these up, and then seat it up. So Chris is right now putting the sway bar end link and finishing it up. So that's basically it. I would say the hardest part are the ones that are really small, such as removing that clip up there, and then in the rear would be lining the bolt. So you just gotta be, you know, up and down and try to get everything lined up, and take your time and make sure you do not strip any of the bolts, because that's very important. And everything should slide right up, and you're gonna follow through the procedure backwards and just tighten everything up, make sure everything is good and secure and passes your visual inspection, and nothing is moving or nothing is most importantly, you are not going to have any extra bolts or nuts. So make sure you put everything back together. Yeah, and I'll show you guys how the car looks. This should give a like an inch drop Probably we're not gonna see that. It's gonna be like half inch probably at the moment, but the more we drive the car, it's gonna settle more. And so you guys be the judge of how good it looks. I mean, yeah, it's a Ford Focus with all-wheel drive, but half-inch drop looks like half-inch drop, and like one finger good, two finger, it's all right. It's gonna settle more, and I think I like it. And it kept the same original how the back end looks kind of high, yeah, right. And yeah, it's it was overall, I think I would say it took us like 4 hours to do it, but we also had to film it, so I think this could be done much fast, but you don't want to be too fast. Take your time and don't lose anything. So yeah, I think Chris is gonna be so happy about it. It's a pretty awesome car. You happy, Chris?
Oh yeah, it looks good.
He's pretty happy. So thanks for watching. Make sure to comment what you think about it. Also share this video, and if it's helpful, we're happy to help. And if you guys have any questions, please ask us through Facebook or Instagram. And yeah, kudos to all. Thanks for watching. Oh, make sure to subscribe.